And we're back.
But, so, like I said, this takes... I do this up and down about 4 or 5 times.
Those of you who get motion sickness or don't like to sit backwards while the tram car is going, I apologize for that, but this might get a little too SCTV for you folks.
And it's kind of interesting. It's like when I first start filling it, I make sure the ladle's completely empty before I go back for more. In the middle, I tend to be less specific.
And I forgot your spoon rest.
That's okay. I've changed the way I'm doing things. Normally, I have a spoon rest to put the ladle in when I get toward the end, but I actually figured out a different system today as I was working earlier, and it seems to work for me. So this, doing this, like I said, I'm going for 4 pounds of honey for this cherry mead. I maybe should try for a dry one, but I like sweet meads. It's my own personal preference. And we're at about 2.3 pounds here, which is probably where I would cut off if I was going for a dry mead. But like I said, I like sweet meads, and if nobody else likes my cherry mead with it sweet because they think it tastes like cough syrup, well, that's more for me.
You tell them.
I'm actually curious. I have a couple of meads out there that people are sampling. I'm kind of curious what people are going to think of. This is one. Actually, I got to pull out. I have a cherry mead that's 2 years old that I haven't pulled out in a little while. That I got to pull out and drink and finish it off. So this will be. I'll need to add a couple more scoops after these 3, because this will get me to about 3.7 pounds once I get these 3 in. And then I'll kind of see where we are and kind of guess how many more I need to get me to 4 pounds. So, yep, just over 3.7 pounds. So I'm going to do this 1 scoop at a time, because I'm not sure what will get me over, and I'd rather do it a little bit at a time, than have to put some back. And there we go.
Yay!
That's 4 pounds. So I put the lid back over the honey. I won't close it up yet. And then I just take this over, add a bit of water, just a little bit, and then over to the stove to turn on a little bit of heat and start dissolving. Unplug the Ninja that I used to puree and put it out of the way so it doesn't get the... Turn on the light so I can see when the stuff is. And we're now back to the stage we were at with the first video. So this is probably a good time to pause, unless Alana/Viola wants to leave it on for you to see how long it takes for the honey to get dissolved.
Actually, I should get you another one. Yeah, we said it was like I'll quote AB again. We said it was good eats. We didn't say it was fast. We never said this was a fast process. Stop!
And I always do that. There's always a little bit of honey on the outside of the pot that I notice when I put it on the stove that I take off with my finger and eat. And that finger won't go near this stuff until I have a chance to wash my hands. So
this is what you're missing every other. Well, we do this about every once a month.
Probably every other month.
Or every other month.
Yeah.
And some months are obviously more busier than others, depending on events, things we got going on. Obviously, all events have been canceled, so that way we can all be safe and healthy and happy. And I certainly hope all of you folks have been safe and healthy, at least in body, if not mind.
On the other hand, the nice thing about this time is I now have more time to drink my mead, and that's something that has become necessary as my bottles are almost all full, and I need to empty some before this mead is done, which I'm working on rapidly. Well, maybe not rapidly, but I'm working on studiously working on emptying some bottles.
Good word. And if you guys are working on any, well, not just me, but if you're working on brewing, we'd love to hear about it. If you are doing any other kind of project, whether you're improving on your fencing, if you found a way to homeschool your children that doesn't make your hair fall out, if you found a way to have your kids learn new life skills that they may or may not have learned about in school, like, balancing a checkbook.
They come over and teach me.
Very droll. So,
and now we're just about there.
As you can see, it's not as viscous. It's a little more thinner.
All right, it's there. It's something that I'm just down, like I did on the last time. I'm running this around, trying to check and make sure that all of the edges of the pot, the honey has been dissolved in.
It's so amusing calling something that's round, referring to edges or corners in a round receptacle. It's always amusing. So now we go back to, where are we going? Back to the sink? To the sink.
To the carboy.
Right. Please use caution if you do this, folks. This stuff is hot.
And as I said, some people like to bring the honey to a boil. There are reasons to do that. It's more useful if you're using raw honey. My honey has all been somewhat processed. It's just the price I can get on the processed honey is just too much better than the price I can get for raw honey, that I just can't pass up the thing, and what you gain from the raw honey is not, in mead making, is just not worth it. On the other hand, if you're using the honey for your own personal use, then raw honey has value and might be worth the extra money. But in the process of mead making, most of the things that make raw honey an advantage are lost. Although if I had a good source of enough local honey, I might go that way and pay the extra money, but unfortunately I do not. So the only source I have of local honey currently can't meet my levels of need with their other customers. So I do it this way. Perhaps someday I will get my own hives and use my own honey in my mead making.
I'm going to call you affiliary if you do that. These are the jokes, folks. They don't get much better than this. So
and actually, I want to move this just a tad further over the sink, so if I spill any, it spills into the sink, not the counter. Not that I intend to spill any, but